Hello everyone, this is Kuroda giving you a shoutcast in Game 2 in a series between Polt Prime and I am LosirA here on Shattered Temple. Now, first of all, this is not the official Blizzard version of Shattered Temple, so I'm not sure if you can actually have a close spawn on this map. Because you can't have a close spawn on this map, the game may actually play out much differently in terms of how players scout, especially with this early Overlord. An early Overlord now making its way across the gap over here as the Zerg player spawning in the color blue at the 12 o'clock location. Meanwhile, Polt Prime, not Polt Primed, excuse me. Polt Prime spawning as the red Teran player over here at the 6 o'clock position. You'll just have to know that there's supposed to be an E there instead of a T. So yeah, Polt Prime spawning here. Overlord now making its way over. LosirA making sure to be very careful with that Overlord. He does not see a command center here, so he pretty much knows where his opponent is now. Meanwhile, back over here, supply depot currently being built, and we should be getting a barracks up in just a moment. It looks like Polt is not going to be opening up with that very aggressive double racks build that we saw earlier. That does make sense just because it is a longer walking distance as a drone now making its way down over here. So perhaps you could spawn as a close spawn, and now the drone just continuing to make its way to the 6 o'clock starting location on this map, and both players will know where each other are in just a moment as the scouting units are on the way. Drone now down over here will grow up to be a hatchery, so a hatchery first here on Shattered Temple as we have a second barracks being built over here. So that's a very interesting strategy. So Polt hiding the fact that he is going for a double racks build, but he sees that there is also no Vespene Geyser down here. So no refineries on the Vespene Geyser. At this stage, what LosirA needs to do is he needs to see whether or not his opponent has built a second racks or is hiding a command center somewhere. You can see the drone now desperately looking for that second racks or another indication of what building has been placed down. And that drone now just still walking around, and now out comes the Marine. The Marine will be able to prevent that drone from leaving now, as a second Marine also being trained. So we do have the second racks over here. More Marines are being added to this group as the SCV still wanders around pretty ineffectively, has not found out where his opponent is just quite yet. SCV is now coming off the line, or coming back from work as the Marines are now shooting it. Perhaps LosirA saw that there were two SCVs returning back to work instead of just one, and we'll see how he responds to that. The extractor already down to 150 hit points, but it looks like it could be completed and then canceled. Yeah, there you go. 3 Marines now going to make the trek over, and with 3 Marines, I believe that is enough to actually destroy the extractor. Yeah, there you go. The drone does not want to stick around, and now the 3 Marines are gone. You do see that there are 5 Marines in total, 6 in just a moment, as we could be getting the command center as well. Yeah, there you go. So it is going to become a very strong economic game. 18 SCVs versus 17 drones, as my daughter in the background just continues to coo a little bit more. Zerglings now make their way out across the field. He wants to make sure that he has at least 6 Marines. The reason why 6 is the all-important magical number is that it takes 6 Marines in order to get off a shot or one round of attacks and kill a Zergling. And now the Zergling down over here is not going to see an army, and perhaps thinks that the army is not there. And now you can see the barracks are being relocated back inside the base. The Teran player able to lift off, and this is all a mind game now because the Zergling doesn't see the army on the move. He may not be producing enough Zerglings to fend off this attack, and yeah, you can see that he power droned instead of trying to train up more and more Zerglings, and now the Marines going to make their way in and then hide around that corner over here, and that is going to be a problem. That is a lot of Marines now coming inside, getting some damage onto that hatchery now, and that those Marines are just going to be able to sit there and perhaps snipe down this hatchery, and this is going to be very good news for Polt if he's able to shut down and get this one building down this quickly. Drones now coming off the mineral line as the hatchery already down to 400 hit points, and now the drones are just trying to come in, and the hatchery now down to 429 hit points. Is he going to be able to get enough damage off? That is the key question. The spine crawler was able to reroute another drone now taken down, and all that Polt Prime was able to really show for that very aggressive and very sneaky maneuver is a hatchery down to 435 hit points. So not a very good use there. Unable to snipe the queen, unable to get down that hatchery, and that potentially could have been much, much worse. Command center or orbital command now repositioning itself over here. The Overlord does not see the mineral patches as the Marines are now over here making sure that there are no Overlords hiding as well. The Zerglings quickly finding an army of Marines coming out. And did he spot that expansion? I believe he did so. Yes, one expansion he was able to spot. But he did not see the 4 Raxes that were currently inside. We are getting a factory, so this is going to be Marine play into perhaps double Banshee. This was something that Polt tried to do in the previous game. He wasn't that successful, but he may have better luck with it this time. Yeah, there you go. There's that double starport. I've seen Hellions transitioned into Banshees, but now this is a definitely Marine transition into Banshees, as the Marines obviously do not cost any gas at all. You're able to build them up. We are getting a tech lab now. A Zergling now trying to come in, down to 4 hit points already, and now destroyed. The Marines once again going to try to test that front door, but now sees that there are a lot of spine crawlers there. And now, are they going to be able to shoot it down? Yeah, it looks like that one of those spine crawlers will get destroyed, and now trying to turn around, trying to fight back, and some drones have been killed. One spine crawler is destroyed there as the Marines now running back. Army-wise, 850 versus 275, and now you can see another Spore Crawler trying to be built as well. So the Marines trying to trying to deal that damage, as the Zerglings do not have metabolic boost just quite yet, and they are getting destroyed as well. An Overlord may get shot down, as now this one Spine Crawler with 2 armor able to fend off a lot of those attacks, and there you go. Now 5 Marines left. Zerglings are going to be able to swarm in very easily and finish off this battle, especially as that metabolic boost is going to complete just in time. But a new fresh group of recruits are now in play. Marines now trying to fight back against those Zerglings there. Marines need to try to make the just try to get as much mileage as possible, making sure that they are not completely surrounded. More Marines coming in and able to get more damage. 4 Marines versus 13 or a couple of Zerglings there. The Marines are going to be able to get a lot of damage with the Zerglings because of that metabolic boost, getting so much additional life, and now able to get a lot of damage and finish off the rest of those Marines. Oh, that one Marine getting 4 kills, but now sees another sea of Zerglings. We are finally getting a bunker out. Banshees are in play, and those Banshees are going to look to try to get more damage, and this is going to be a problem now, as the Orbital Command perhaps is going to lift off. No, Marines are now going to try to hold off on this position here, and now SCV is just perhaps on auto repair, trying to fight off against this attack. We do see the Banshees are moving off in the far corner, but the Marines in the bunker need to get as much damage as possible, and that's going to be a problem there, as the Marines now upgrading that, or trying to raise that supply depot, making sure that the Zerglings are unable to run through. SCV is now coming in, as the Banshees are now fighting against a lot of Queens. That is a problem, as there is also a Spore Crawler there, and those Banshees have taken a fair amount of damage. More Banshees in play, or being trained, as the Mutalisk now being added to the army. And Stim Pack needs to be researched. It's going to be 4 Banshees, but those Banshees now just cleaning up creep tumors instead of trying to deal any significant damage there. Another creep tumor, unable to find its target, even though the Blacklash rockets were already on their way. That scanner sweep just a second late. The Banshees now looking to finish off the rest of those units, but the Mutalisk will be able to engage them in just a second there. Banshee has gotten a decent amount of kills, and with no cloaking research, these 3 Banshees are just going to get absolutely slaughtered. Out come the Mutalisk. The Mutalisk do move significantly faster than those Banshees, and that is one of the reasons why you really want Cloak against Zerg, as the Zerg is able to train up those Mutalisks so easily and be able to shut down those Banshees. So already 2 Banshees lost. A 3rd Banshee may be lost as well, as this Banshee desperately flies for its life, and now Marine support finally coming in. 3 Banshees down over here. We are continuing to get more and more barracks. Stim Pack about to be completed, and now going into reactors. So this is going to be mass reactors. A lot of Marines are going to be trained, as the Mutalisks are slowly increasing in production. We are getting the movement speed upgrades for those Banelings, as the Marines are now need to get that combat shield. There it is. It is currently being researched. The starports, double starports, now double training medevacs, and there's a small window of opportunity to try to attack. The Banshees need to focus down onto those Banelings before the Banelings find their target, and the Marines need to clean up everything else, as the Mutalisk now over here. So the Mutalisks are going to be able to find their target very, very easily and pick off a lot of these supply depots, and that is an issue. Mutalisk just and perhaps going to be able to supply lock the Teran player in just a moment, but the Banshees are now coming out in force. Are the Marines going to be able to do anything about this? The Marines need to pull away, and now the Marines are getting split up, and down they go. But it looks like the Banshees may be able to, no, the Banshees cannot focus down onto those Banelings anymore, as the Banshees need to return home. Otherwise, they're going to get picked off by those Mutalisks, and there you go. The Banshees now getting picked off by those Mutalisks. 2 Mutalisks per Banshee. The Banshees being very smart, trying to split up in multiple directions and not get destroyed, or not have all of them destroyed there. Siege tanks now being added to this army in order to try to stop those Banelings. This one Banshee is in trouble. Those 2 Mutalisks are able to finish off that Banshee, and these 3 Mutalisks able to finish off a Banshee as well. It looks like this one Banshee realizes that it's going to be very short on life, just doing a kamikaze mission and able to finish off multiple Zerglings. Harvester-wise, 50 SCVs versus 49 drones, 2 Mutalisks. As this game continues, level 2 melee attack upgrades now for those Zerglings and those Banelings. As the Roaches, or as the Marines and the Medevacs now try to make a move. The Marines are not upgraded at all, soon to be 1-0 upgraded. And it is going to be very important to see what these Marines can do. You can see that the Mutalisks coming in, able to get off a lot of damage onto those missile turrets, and with no... And, is he going to be able to get the siege tech in time? Yes, able to get the siege tech in time, and that was very important as those Marines now making their way over. The siege tech now coming in, but the Marines now in trouble here as the Zerglings going to be able to swarm, and now the Banelings just melting the rest of that army. The Marines now trying to come back, and it looks like one Baneling may be able to find its target. Is it going to be able to? No, not able to find its target there. Taking a look at the losses, the Teran player definitely losing more. As you can see, so many SCVs were destroyed. 10 SCVs lost, at least in that battle. Units killed. Is there workers lost? I don't see a workers lost. So yeah, our army's units are now on the way out, trying to get some damage, and the Marines need to figure out what to do. Army-wise, the Teran player does have the larger, or I spoke too soon, as the Banelings just able to melt apart this army here. The Queen now desperately trying to run away. Are the Marines going to be able to stop those Baneling cocoons from hatching? They need to go after those Baneling cocoons. 1, 2, 3, as those Banelings now trying to roll away. Overlords getting destroyed, but no chance of getting supply locked anytime soon, as the Marines now doing a trying to do a desperate timing push before any of those Banelings are coming into play. Those Banelings, 8 of them with an additional, 6 on the way. Marines now perhaps need to jump into those medevacs. And now you can see the Zerglings continue to swarm in once again. Mutalisks now back over here. Siege tank needs to be very, very careful. Now cleaning up the rest of these creep tumors once again. And now the Mutalisks. And now one siege tank over here. Banelings rolling through. Siege tank has been destroyed. But I believe Polt has still such a large army that he should be able to simply attack move with this group of units. As the Marines are such a powerful in numbers and in swarms. The Marines are decently spread apart there. Drones coming off the mineral line to finish this off, but it doesn't look like much is going to be happening, as the production of 5 barracks with reactors too much, and there it is. There's the GG. So Polt Prime taking game 2 in this best of 3 series. Stay tuned for game 3.